saying goes that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and when it comes to startups, that road is often littered with flashy renderings of futuristic products that never quite make it past the digital drawing board. Karoo Camper, however, is determined not to end up as one of those forgotten promises. After nearly 2 years of living only as a CGI concept, this ambitious Finnish creation has finally stepped into the real world. The dream of the camper of tomorrow is no longer just a slick animation. It's something you can actually walk around, touch, and start to imagine yourself living in. The Karoo Adventure Camper, which originally went by the simple name Karoo, made its long-awaited real-world debut at the 2025 Düsseldorf Caravan Salon, the biggest RV event in all of Europe. For a company trying to prove that it isn't just talk, that's about as grand a stage as you can get. The reveal was met with curiosity, skepticism, and excitement all at once. Sure, it showed up as a prototype rather than a full production model, but that's still a leap forward from CGI renders. For people who put money down in hopes of seeing this project become real, this was enough reassurance to keep the faith. For those just now hearing about it, it might even spark fresh interest. What makes the Karoo stand out in an increasingly crowded camper market is that it's designed specifically with today's and tomorrow's drivers in mind. Unlike the lumbering trailers of the past that demand a full-size truck to haul them around, the Karoo is lightweight, compact, and engineered to be towable by electric vehicles or even smaller gas-powered cars. That fact alone makes it stand apart, since towing has been one of the biggest hurdles for EV owners who want to go camping. Add in the promise that it can also serve as a charging station for e-bikes and scooters, and you're looking at something that feels very much in tune with modern lifestyles. Even better, you can safely store those e-bikes inside the camper when you're not riding them. Of course, you can't talk about the Karoo without mentioning its design. From the start, it's been marketed as a futuristic piece of equipment, and even in its prototype form, it delivers on that promise. The exterior looks nothing like the traditional white box you see in campgrounds. It's sleek, angular, and intentionally designed to be aerodynamic. The company claims its shape and lightweight build can give the towing EV up to a 65% boost in range compared to towing a standard trailer. That's a bold number, but if true, it could be a game changer for road trips in electric cars. Originally, the Karoo's specs were laid out in a way that made it sound too good to be true. A length of 5 meters, full standing height inside, 750 kilograms empty weight, fresh and gray water tanks, and a 6 kilowatt-hour battery powered by roof-mounted solar panels. As the prototype has inched closer to reality, those numbers have shifted a little. The body is now about 30 centimeters longer, a bit narrower, and the battery is smaller than originally promised. Some might call this a step back, but in reality, it's the natural evolution of turning a concept into something that can actually be built and used. At the Düsseldorf show, the Karoo team had 2 things on display: a complete outer shell of the camper and a life-size mock-up of the interior. Walking inside, you're immediately struck by the massive sky roof overhead and the digital command center built into what will eventually be the side door. These touches give it a high-tech feel that's miles away from your average camper. The layout is clever, if a bit unconventional. The Karoo has 2 entryways, one at the back and one along the side. The side opens up completely, turning into a kind of awning that expands the interior into the outdoors. This also doubles as a cooking and dining space when the weather is good, letting you enjoy meals outside without losing easy access to everything inside. The back hatch opens up in a similar way, giving you yet another connection between indoors and outdoors. In good weather, the Karoo transforms from a tight little capsule into a spacious living area, especially if you add extra awnings or tents. Inside, minimalism is the rule of the day. At first glance, the interior feels sleek and simple, not cluttered or fussy. 2 main seats face forward and double as a lounge area. Add in a pair of movable ottomans that also double as storage, and you've got flexible seating that can be rearranged however you want. When it's time to sleep, the seats fold down, the ottomans slide into place, and you've got a bed. If you'd rather bring along a couple of e-bikes, you can lift the seats up against the wall to free up floor space for storage. The only hiccup is figuring out what to do with the ottomans in that scenario, since they obviously can't sit on the floor with bikes taking up the room. It's a bit of a puzzle, but one that's probably solvable with some trial and error once you're actually living in it. The front of the camper is dedicated to the bathroom and kitchen, and here's where things get a little tricky. The bathroom is so tiny, it could probably win awards for compactness. It's essentially a closet with a cassette toilet and a shower head. Using the shower means sitting on the toilet, which isn't exactly luxurious, but is a compromise many small campers make. The kitchen, by contrast, feels slightly more practical, though still modest. It comes with a small sink and a 2-burner induction cooktop that slides out so you can cook outside. There's also a mini fridge, though calling it a drinks cooler might be more accurate, and a drawer for the basics. A couple of small storage cubbies hang overhead, but that's about it. Between the limited kitchen space and the handful of storage options in the entire camper, owners will have to embrace a minimalist lifestyle or become expert packers. When you add it all up, the Karoo doesn't promise luxury. What it promises instead is smart use of space, futuristic design, and a camper that aligns with the needs of modern, eco-conscious adventurers. To sweeten the deal, the Karoo is meant to be tech-savvy as well. The plan is for it to come with integrated cameras, a sound system, and app connectivity so you can control or monitor features from your phone. If you'd rather go hands-on, a large touchscreen will be mounted in the door to give you direct access to settings and information. The idea is to make your camping trip feel more like stepping into the future rather than roughing it in the woods. Of course, all this comes at a price. When the Karoo was first introduced, the entry price was announced at just under €30,000, or about $35,000. That has since climbed to €37,000, roughly $43,400 before options. The company hasn't revealed what all the available options will be just yet, but one strong possibility is a drop-down bed for kids, which would make it more practical for small families. Whether that price tag feels reasonable will depend on how much value you put on its design, tech, and towability compared to the compromises in space and storage. For now, the Karoo is still a prototype. The company is optimistic about moving into production, but as with all startups, nothing is guaranteed until the final product is rolling off the assembly line. Still, the progress they've made so far is impressive, especially considering how many other futuristic campers never escape the world of renderings. Seeing a physical prototype, complete with its unique design, its clever doors, and its minimalist but intriguing interior, feels like a real step forward. At the end of the day, the Karoo Adventure Camper isn't for everyone. If your idea of camping involves bringing along a giant grill, 3 kayaks, and a week's worth of clothes for every possible weather condition, you're going to find it frustratingly small. But if you're the kind of traveler who values simplicity, clever design, and the ability to tow with an EV, then the Karoo might feel like exactly what you've been waiting for. It's more than just a concept now. It's a tangible glimpse of what the future of camping could look like. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. If you know someone who would enjoy this video as much as you did, share it with them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.